iPad Pro versus MacBook Air. So the question is, what should I buy? I think many people have this question, so let's discuss and find the answer. The new iPad Pro 2020 supports robust cursor control for the first time, and a new Magic Keyboard gives it a trackpad. Plus, the iPad Pro is now even faster with its A12Z Bionic chip, and it packs a new dual-camera system for capturing content on the go along with a new lidar scanner for delivering advanced AR experiences. But don't count out the MacBook Air 2020. Apple's updated ultra-portable laptop is now up to 2 times faster, thanks to Intel's 10th Gen Core processor. More important, Apple ditched the dreaded butterfly keyboard on the MacBook Air for a more comfortable and reliable scissor mechanism. So which computer is right for you? Have a look at this overview first, after that we get into our main subject. The MacBook Air has a slightly bigger display than the iPad Pro at 13.3 inches versus 12.9 inches, but the iPad Pro's screen is superior in pretty much every other way. When it comes to resolution, the iPad Pro's display is sharper at 2732 by 2048 pixels, compared to 2560 by 1600 for the MacBook Air. In our lab tests, the iPad Pro's screen averaged 559 nits of brightness, which blows away the MacBook Air's 386.4 nits. The MacBook Air offers an improved scissor switch keyboard that offers a much more comfortable typing experience than the previous MacBook Air with its butterfly keyboard. The layout not only offers more travel 1 mm versus 0.5 mm but feels snappier overall. The MacBook Air also features a large 4.75 by 3.2 inch touchpad. The iPad Pro attaches magnetically to the Magic Keyboard's floating cantilever design, allowing you to adjust the display's angle up to 130 degrees. The iPad Pro Magic Keyboard's touchpad is smaller than that of the MacBook Air. The MacBook Air sports 2 Thunderbolt-C ports as well as a headphone jack. The iPad Pro has a lone USB-C port and no headphone jack, though you get an extra USB port for pass-through charging if you opt for the Magic Keyboard. The iPad Pro has arguably one of the most powerful processors in any mobile device, including most laptops. The new A12Z Bionic chip offers an 8-core CPU plus a new 8-core GPU that combines for beastly performance. The MacBook Air has upped its game, too, as Apple has finally made the move to 10th Gen Intel Core processors. The configuration we tested is a Core i3 chip, though, which isn't that fast. On Geekbench 5, which measures overall performance, the iPad Pro notched 1126 on the single-core portion of the test and 4720 on the multi-core portion. The MacBook Air was well behind, hitting 973 and 2737, respectively. This is the biggest difference between the iPad Pro and the MacBook Air. The iPad Pro runs iPad OS, which is a touch-first operating system that now supports cursor input across the OS. You can now easily select text using a Bluetooth mouse, external trackpad or Apple's own Magic Keyboard with trackpad, as well as perform various gestures, such as flicking with 3 fingers up to see all of your open apps. iPad OS continues to support multitasking features like slide over running apps on top of others and split view running 2 apps side by side, and the customizable Today screen gives you helpful widgets to stay on top of your day. Plus, only iPad OS supports Apple Pencil for drawing, note-taking, and marking up documents. macOS Catalina provides a more traditional desktop experience. The dock is always visible, and you get more robust desktop applications. For example, the Chrome browser on macOS has a bookmarks bar, something the iPad OS version lacks. You also have a lot more choice in terms of software and what you can download on macOS, whether you choose to go through the Mac App Store or the web. The latest macOS Catalina doesn't add many compelling features, but Apple has brought some iPad apps over to the platform, including Apple Music, Apple TV, and Apple Podcasts. And developers can now more easily port their own apps from iPad OS to macOS. Other highlights include improved Photos, Notes, and Reminders apps. You can even use an iPad as a second display with the Sidecar feature. If you want to create content, the iPad Pro is the way to go. Apple's tablet includes a 12MP wide camera and a new 10MP ultra-wide camera that lets you fit in more of the scene when shooting. The iPad Pro can also record 4K video up to 60 frames per second, something the MacBook Air can't do. The iPad Pro also has a front 7MP TrueDepth camera for selfies and quickly unlocking the devices with face recognition. And, unlike the MacBook Air, the iPad Pro features a lidar scanner that dramatically improves the performance in augmented reality apps. Another key advantage of the iPad Pro is Apple Pencil support. With the $129 accessory you can take notes, draw and mark up documents with ease. And the Apple Pencil charges when magnetically topped to the top of the iPad Pro. Unfortunately, the MacBook Air only features a low-res 720p camera for video chats. And you can't use your face to log in, instead, there's a Touch ID button on the keyboard deck. This round is pretty close. On our battery test, which involves continuous web surfing over Wi-Fi at 150 nits of screen brightness, the iPad Pro lasted a very good 10 hours and 16 minutes. The MacBook Air was not far behind, turning in a time of 9:31. Still, the iPad Pro delivers more endurance overall. The one advantage the MacBook Air has here is that its power cord is pretty long at 2 meters (over 6 feet), while the iPad Pro's power cable is woefully short at only 1 meter (3.2 feet). Don't let the starting price fool you. The iPad Pro starts at $999 for the tablet itself, but the costs go up dramatically once you start adding accessories. The iPad Pro also offers a Wi-Fi Plus cellular option that adds built-in LTE connectivity, something the MacBook Air doesn't have. The MacBook Air's pricing is more straightforward. It starts at $999 with a Core i3 processor, 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage, twice the storage of the iPad Pro. You also get a keyboard included. The $1,299 configuration of the Air offers a faster Core i5 chip and bumps the storage to 512 GB. According to my opinion, the iPad Pro is the best tablet you can buy that can double as a laptop for some people, and the MacBook Air is the best laptop for most people. I would personally pick the Air despite some shortcomings, but overall you can't lose. However, you should think more about this and choose the best one for you when you buy. Don't miss our everyday updates, keep in touch with us. Subscribe us and press the bell button. Thanks for watching, have a nice day.